All right, man. So I am going to give you my final conclusions on the final mock drafts that I just did earlier. So as far as the 49ers draft picks, there's a reason why I made these trades and then made these moves, and those picks made a lot of sense. But I am going to explain to you why I made this trade for this certain prospect, and that was pretty much what I had available on that spot. So it was a decent value. But I want to show you the prospect I'm talking about, and I'll give you my reasons why I chose him at that point. Okay, so Matthew Bergeron from Syracuse, the offensive tackle. He's about, what is it, 6'6" or 6'5", 320 pounds. He stood out in the Senior Bowl. He has the size. He seems to be the big fit that we're looking for. He kind of seems to be the kind of mauler at the offensive line that we're lacking. I mean, he can be a nice competition for Colt McKivitz, who was a bridge situation. So he can either beat out Colt McKivitz for that starting right tackle spot, or he can be the starter next year, or potentially groom Trent Williams, who can be gone within the next few years. So that can be a nice depth piece to move up for. He could definitely be a starter down that road, or he can be the instant starter right off the bat. So that was the value I saw. I couldn't get towards other prospects like Blake Freeland, so I made that trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars just to get a tackle that we desperately need to improve at. So that was pretty much my conclusion on that pick. So I am going to go into the next pick, and I'll explain to you why I made that choice. So we're going to go on to the next pick. So that pick from the 101 pick, Byron Young from Tennessee. He runs a 4.43 speed. He's a speed rusher. He adds some quality depth at the position, and that makes the group a lot stronger. So we get a speed rusher, a guy who can step in and play. Solid depth piece to have, and somebody you can have in your rotation or anything like that. It's good to have that as your strength of your position. You know, have a guy like Chris Kasarik to work with and put in some, like, see what the guy can do. He's explosive. He's got speed. It kind of gives you that D Ford vibe, you know. So if this guy somehow slides in the 101 pick, I don't hesitate to pass on this guy. So he would be a nice fit for the Niners defense, because you get somebody that's quick, and he replaces somebody like a Samson Ebukam who was a speed rusher too. So you get a guy who's exactly a speed rusher, but could be a nice fit to this defense. So he's got that speed, he's got that talent, and he'll only get better. So I feel like that's a good pick. So let's get on to the next pick, and I'll explain to you why I made that pick. So we'll go on to the next pick. So the pick that I had originally was I traded down with the Packers, and I had an extra pick, and I was able to move up a few more spots back up to where I was originally at, just to get this prospect. So the pick alone, I decided to select Charvarius Hodges-Tomlinson. I like his tape. He's a great tackler. He's good in coverage. He can play the nickel. He can play outside. He can play free safety or anywhere in the secondary. He seems like the kind of guy that can play the position just well. Despite being 5'9", 180 pounds, I think when you watch this kid play, he plays a lot bigger. He's got a dog in him. So yes, he's related to the great LaDainian Tomlinson, but when you watch this kid play, man, he's exceptionally exciting to watch. This would be a strength to the Niners secondary. Not only that you just draft this kid, you improve the secondary in a lot of ways. So if injuries were to come into play, you can plug that kid right into that situation. You can put him at the slot spot. You can put him in the free safety spot or whatever, bro. This guy has the versatility that the Niners like. And I don't think size should be a concern. I think the guy plays a lot better than what people indicate. So You got to watch his film, and I really like his talent. Like, the guy can tackle. He's in a good position. He makes plays at the right timing. So he has good pass defense. He has good understanding of coverage. So you'll like the pick. So let's get on to the next pick, and I'll explain to you why I made that choice going into the 5th round. All right, so going into the 5th round, Luke Schoonmaker just happens to slide. The value was too good to pass. So getting the tight end from Michigan, he's a good receiving tight end. I don't know too much of him as a blocker, but I think it's coachable with him. I think you have to consider it. Like, some people even say he's the closest to a George Kittle, but the guy just him and George Kittle as 2 tight end sets, that'd be kind of scary. That's a nice complimentary to have. So getting Luke Schoonmaker in that round alone, that's a steal. I think you can definitely have other ways to utilize him. Like, if Kittle misses significant time, you can put Schoonmaker out there. If you need somebody to complement George Kittle, he can be the guy. He might be able to get some more targets because they're going to focus on Kittle. And the guy has a big body. So he's like, 6'6", 255 pounds, runs a 4.59 or something. So he's pretty explosive, pretty quick. So he's got speed. He's got that elite speed for a tight end. He's got a big body, so he's intriguing. But let's get on to the next pick in the 5th round, and I'll tell you who. Okay, so going into the next pick, this guy has some safety background, and he plays linebacker at the University of Purdue, Jalen Graham. The guy has a dog in him. The guy plays with good coverage. When you watch the highlights, you watch his coverage, the way he plays, bro, the guy is just right on the money, bro. He makes tackles. He was very productive at Purdue. You get him in the 5th round, that's a great value. That's kind of like getting another Dre Greenlaw, bro. This guy this guy seems like a motivator out there, bro. This guy seems like he's feeding off with energy, bro. Like, you watch this kid's film, bro, you'd be amazed. And he fits exactly what the 49ers are looking for. So if you need somebody on special teams, this guy will contribute. There's no way in hell this guy gets cut, bro. This guy is somebody you'll want to keep on your roster. If you need him to play the Sam spot, if injuries were to happen, you can plug him in. If anything to do with injuries, bro, you can plug him on those linebacker spots, bro. The guy has good speed, good instinct, very good coverage, bro. And he seems like the kind of guy that just does the talking, but freaking backs it up on the field, bro. So that is great value. Getting Jalen Graham from Purdue, bro, that would be a nice pick. That's somebody that you probably haven't done your due diligence on, but I say you'll like the kid. Jalen Graham has, unbelievable, off the charts. I think he's one of the most underrated linebackers coming out of Purdue that some people didn't hear about. But I think he's somebody you might want to take serious. So the next pick, we're going into, I guess, the next pick, and I'll tell you who it is and why. Okay, so we're on to the next pick. The Niners finally address a natural position, which is safety. We get Anthony Johnson Jr. from Iowa State, a guy who actually was playing safety at Iowa State. I think he converted from cornerback to safety, and it's a simple transition. So you get a guy you can develop. You get a guy who can be versatile. You get a guy who can be somebody that can step in. So the Niners not only just add another piece to the secondary, they add a guy who can tackle. They add a guy who can play anywhere in the secondary, bro. Niners value versatility, and you have to fit the system. This guy seems to make the plays, and he kind of reminds me a little bit of Jimmy Ward. Like, you look at the tackles, you look at the opportunities he gets out of those interceptions, bro. It's very, very limited, bro. Like, he doesn't get those opportunities. But this kid, he can play, bro. You put him in the free safety spot, I think he's going to be really good. I think by next year when Gibson leaves or retires, I think Anthony Johnson Jr. is that one guy that if you were to bet as the next year's starter, I would put my money on this guy. Like, Anthony Johnson has good tackling skills, and he's really good in coverage too, so he can really be in good position, and he's a great value. So you can develop this kid so he can contribute on special teams. He can come in and play if injuries were to happen or anything like that. Like, if you need him to play, that will only be better for him, and I think the value in that spot is a great value. So this is a kid that I've been hearing about under the radar the last few weeks, and I'm more impressed by his tape. So we're going to go on to the next pick, and I'll tell you why. So the next pick is Christian Young, safety, Arizona. Hear me out. The Niners want to straighten this secondary. They want to make it very strong, right? They want to make it really good. So Steve Wilks is a DB guru. He's going to like this kid. The guy can play anywhere, bro. This is a hybrid player, bro. This is a Swiss Army knife, bro. I interviewed this kid. There's nothing else that you won't. There's nothing else that you would want out of any other position, bro. He played cornerback. He played safety. Dude, you can even put him at linebacker, bro. But he's a little lighter. He's about 213 pounds, bro. There's a lot to like about him. He runs a 4.4 speed. He didn't get any interceptions in college, but the guy can make tackles, bro. The Niners would like this kid. 6'3", 213 pounds. There's a lot to like about this kid. He'll definitely make a strong case for the roster, bro. He can contribute on special teams. He can contribute on any other ways, bro. If you need him to play some safeties, you can plug him in. If you need him for injuries at the cornerback position, like let's say if we're shorthanded, bro, you can put the kid out there. If you need him on dime packages with linebackers, bro, on blitz packages, this guy could do it. There's a lot to like, bro. This is a Swiss Army knife in the secondary. What's there not to like, bro? This is a guy that you would want on your roster, bro. Like, I think Steve Wilks wants that big type of guy that you would just love to coach, and I think he would fit pretty well. He wouldn't be a Jeremy Chin, not by any means, but he'd be a complete ultimate guy, bro. Like, you can put him anywhere in the secondary. You can put him at linebacker, and he would do fine. There's other ways you can use him. So that pick is intriguing. I think that's what I would take. Because if I'm going to draft somebody in the later rounds, like in the 7th round or something, I want to see if I want to get the guy who can compete and make the roster. I'm going best available, and I'm going by what can help the team in the long haul, bro. So strong safety could be a nice depth piece to have, and maybe a guy who can play both spots in the safety spots. And then maybe cornerback emergency, whatever, or dime packages on situations, or a guy on special teams who can help the team. So that would be great value right there. So next pick, I'll tell you why this pick is good. This pick's going to be interesting. So I'll tell you why. So on the final pick for the 49ers, I have the 49ers drafting Brayden Willis, tight end, Oklahoma. Hear me out before you guys call me biased. The Niners need to improve the tight end depth, bro. Luke Shoemaker was just another piece. Brayden Willis is an ultimate Swiss Army knife, bro. He can block, he can catch. There's other ways you can utilize this kid. This guy can contribute on special teams. This guy can be on the field, bro. What's there not to like? The Niners have met with him not just once, not just twice, but 3 different times, bro. They seem to really like this kid. And if he's at that spot, bro, I don't think they would not hesitate to pass on this kid, bro. There's something to like about him. And that's what you want. You want to get that one player. If you're going to draft somebody in the 7th round, you want to at least draft somebody who can make the team, who can actually make a strong case, bro. That late round guy who can beat out one of those veterans. He can be one of those guys, bro. He can probably beat out Charlie Warner. He can probably beat out Ross Dwelley for that final spot for the tight end position, bro. Because I think what's important for the Niners, bro, is we need that other tight end to complement George Kittle. If Kittle misses time, you're going to need some really good tight ends to step in. And the reason why I was okay with getting Schoonmaker was you need somebody who can catch the ball too. but you need somebody who can block. And there's a lot to like about Brayden Willis. The value was too good to pass. And all Oklahoma bias aside, bro, he would be a really good addition to the Niners. So if you look at the depth chart going into the Niners roster, bro, can you imagine this prediction? This will come down to George Kittle, Luke Schoonmaker, Brayden Willis, and Charlie Warner. That would pretty much be the 4 tight ends we keep on the roster. I don't think Ross Dwelley even makes the team. I think he'll either be on the practice squad, but that looks good on paper, right? If you think about it, it looks really good on paper. So my final conclusion of the draft is I have us having 8 draft picks because we don't need all 11 draft picks, bro. We need guys who can step in. We need quality depth pieces. We need somebody who can fix the weakest spot of our position. So that's why I made those picks in the first place. Those were my final mock drafts. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think. And as always, I'll keep y'all posted. Peace.